everybody, welcome to my channel. I wanted to share a little bit of an update with you all about the way that I eat and how my diet has changed. Now, as so many of you know, I was die-hard vegan. I cut out all animal products. I did not eat a single animal product for probably about 9-10 months. Then I slowly started to add things like eggs back in. I still don't do dairy. But I wanted to explain why I'm no longer vegan and why it's okay that our diet changes. So a little bit of a background, my husband and I watched some videos on Netflix that talked about the agriculture industry and farming practices and just how much is wrong with those particular industries when they're on a mass level scale. So we watched those videos and I immediately felt sick to my stomach. I thought, how could I invest in such an industry and coach my clients to invest in such an industry? And so we were really motivated on an ethical level to change the way that we ate. So we both adopt a completely vegan diet. We did not adopt a completely vegan lifestyle because we still own things like leather and fur and whatever else that we had previously, which we didn't get rid of. So we weren't fully vegan, but we were pretty dedicated to a vegan diet. My husband lasted for maybe 6 months. I lasted longer. And then my body started to display symptoms. I started to get really lethargic. I didn't feel as strong in my workouts. I was always seeming to get fatigued. I had lost quite a bit of weight, or at least inches, because I don't weigh myself, but I lost quite a few inches on a vegan diet, but I had found that I was getting a lot of GI distress and a lot of stomach issues. I was always bloated. My skin was nice and then it started to not get nice. So all the things that happened when I switched to a plant-based vegan diet started to disappear and my body started to display all these symptoms. I'm a person that has struggled with IBS for a very, very long time. And unfortunately, a lot of the foods on a vegan diet trigger IBS symptoms. So I was going through a season where my IBS was triggered a lot more and something needed to change. With my history of an eating disorder and chronic dieting, I really held on to labels very strongly and associated and found my identity through all of these different labels and different ways of eating. That's who I was the types of foods that I ate or the ways that I ate. I would say I'm paleo or I'm vegan, identifying with all these different labels. And so I really did try, when we switched to a vegan diet, because it was for ethical reasons, I tried not to attach onto that label too strongly because it's quite a slippery slope when you have a history of an eating disorder. But I still found myself associating and identifying with that label. So when the time came that my body said, I need something different, we need to start adding different foods back in, I felt really conflicted. I thought, am I gonna let all of my listeners down or my followers down or the vegan community down? And it was really about other people. It wasn't about me and what my body needed and what was best for me in this new coming season. So I started to add different bits of animal products back in. I started to add free-range chicken, baking with free-range eggs. I'd add in more fish or seafood. Red meat and me still just do not agree. And my body started to feel better again. My digestion was so much better after a few months. I had more energy. I felt stronger. I started getting really lean again. I had people commenting on, what are you doing? What kind of exercise are you doing? What are you eating differently? You look so good. And my body really just soaked everything up that I was doing differently because it needed a change. So often we get stuck in these patterns of eating because we believe that we have to stay on one method of eating or one diet for the rest of our lives. And that's really, really a bad mindset to adopt because, like life, our eating has to change. It ebbs and flows and goes up and down depending on what's going on in our lives, our age, our activity level. Our diet needs to reflect this change. And so when we stay in this mindset that we need to stay eating the same way for the rest of our lives, or we're letting ourselves down or letting other people down or falling off the wagon, we develop a really unhealthy relationship with food. We take ourselves out of tuning into body wisdom because we're demanding that we know better instead of letting our body tell us what it needs at any given time, at any given cycle of our lives. So I really wanted to share that little piece of information with you because I still post a lot of plant-based recipes. I am predominantly plant-based, so the amount of animal protein or animal products that I've added back into my diet is really quite minimal, but they're high quality, so I don't need a lot. And one of the biggest things that I learned switching from a predominantly paleo diet to a strict vegan diet was I don't need as much protein as I thought I did. I was eating mass amounts of protein, and that wasn't good for me either. I had a lot of stomach issues, I had a lot of skin issues, and all of that protein was not good for my body either. So I went from one extreme to the other, and now I've started to find a very healthy balance. Like I said, I still don't consume red meat. I don't consume dairy. Dairy has been one thing that I have found has given me a ton of relief from acne, from digestive issues, and it has helped me sleep better cutting out dairy. So those things I'm still really dead set on, but I don't want to say never anymore. I'll never eat this or I'll never do this again. When we get into those extremes, we develop an unhealthy relationship with food and with life, and we basically just try and take control wherever we can find it. So if you're on a specific diet right now and you're finding yourself craving different foods, or your body is just saying, hey, I need this, and you could be eating paleo and your body's saying, I am really craving beans. It's not on a paleo diet. I'm not talking about like, I'm craving pizza, I'm craving ice cream, I'm just going to go and eat those. There are times when that's okay, but I'm talking about if you're a strict dieter or you follow one method of eating religiously, it's a religious thing, it's a dogmatic thing, and your body's asking for something else, I'm asking you and encouraging you to honor what your body is saying. I was really, really nervous to start putting different recipes and food pictures on my Instagram account that had chicken in it because I had this big vegan following and I thought these people are going to abandon me. But you know what? It's so superficial. All of that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is keeping your body healthy and honoring what it needs when it needs it and giving it to it and not worrying about what other people think. So if you're on a diet and you're finding that you just can't stick to it, it's probably because your body's not supposed to be on that specific diet right now in this season. I always encourage all of my listeners to add tons and tons and tons of more plants into your diet and eat. Your diet should consist of a minimum of 50% should come from vegetables, and then whatever else you choose to do, whether you add in high quality animal sources or vegan options for your protein sources and healthy fats, that's up to you. But really the foundation of a healthy diet should come from plants. But your diet shouldn't be a religious thing that you follow. It should be intuitive and fun and always changing. Embrace the change that comes with eating. You don't have to stick with one way of eating forever. Honor your body and watch what your body does in response. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear any feedback that you have. Have you been eating really strict in a certain way for a long time, but your body is just wanting something different? I encourage you to listen to your body. Please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Like this video, please share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jaded Nutrition. That's it for now. Have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.